engagement and as a part of branding is a key piece today. And brands are taking risky bets. So we have these three roles, the informing, reminding, enhancing enjoyment roles. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you these three roles out of a scholarly discussion today. I'm telling you them because actually these roles shape how you want to plan your media, how brands should act. You want to think about reminding as getting into the awareness, into the consideration of whether your brand is even in the game, so to speak. Okay, so it has to be in the memory, has to be in the mind in order to be considered. Thinking about these three media and these three roles, I'm just trying to answer the question, what goes in the box? How effective is each one of these media along the dimensions of each of these roles? Paid media is much more effective than earned media, over 4 times more effective than earned media. You'll have the desire to have ongoing support for your brand. When you're thinking about designing the ads in this context, you'd probably be thinking about how can we make sure it's memorable, much more than how can we make sure they understand how well it matches their tastes. That's not the key. It's more about memorable.
So I'm going to talk about advertising spillovers. So the question is, what happens to the sales of the competitors when a firm advertises? Do they always lose, or can they even gain from another firm's advertising? Can advertising in practice in a real market with real consumers lead to an increase in sales for competitors? And if this does happen, how important is it? Is it quantitatively significant? Is it something that me as an advertiser should worry about? Or is it something very non-trivial? First of all, there are significant positive spillovers in this market for the competitors. On average, there was a 4% increase in the competitive market size. This seems small, but the total cumulated spillover effect is quite large. It's about 5 times the advertiser's own gains. From advertising for high intensity, for higher rating, same cuisine restaurants, the gains were quite large. They were about 25% on average. Okay. Then the intensity of advertising plays a big role in spillovers. So for low intensity, I'm benefiting myself, I'm benefiting my competitors quite a lot. When I increase the intensity, I recover some of these spillovers and get over it.
So advertising has these 2 distinct roles, persuasive and informative. And one of our main research questions is actually to disentangle these 2 effects and measure which one is more prevalent. We know that consumers are aware of about 7 banks, but they only actively consider 2 of them when they are thinking of making their decision. And when we think about the purchase funnel and how different variables affect the consumer's decisions, we see that advertising is informative for most banks. They favor opening an account with their primary bank. Right? So if they already have a primary bank that they go with, there's a huge preference towards opening another account with that bank. Okay, so there's a lot of inertia, this idea of convenience and one-stop shopping. If I already have a checking and a banking account with this bank, might as well get my mortgage from this bank as well. Local bank presence is really important, both for the awareness stage, so for the consumer being aware of a bank and include it in the awareness set, but it's also important for choice. Okay, so for you to move from being considered to being chosen, it's really important that you have local bank presence.
More and more, as you fly and as companies refurbish their aircraft, we're getting a lot of convenience in terms of flying around. And we get this convenience of having entertainment screens in front of us that we can use to buy whatever you'd like. And so this is the lab setting, this lab in the sky that I'm going to use to identify social effects in purchases. So if I see someone buy a food item, my probability the market share for the treated passengers who saw that food item being bought increases by 6.3%. It's a 50% increase, right? Very high increase. If I see someone buy an alcoholic beverage, the increase is 100%, all right? So it's crazy. So it goes from 2.2 to 4.4. The increase is 2.2, right? And also big increase for movies, right? So these products you can think about them as own social complements, right? If you see someone buy food, you're also more likely to buy food. It's a huge priming effect. People who have, in this setting, people who have a high willingness to buy also have a high willingness to be influenced by other people.